We might be live. Okay, there we go. Hey, and welcome back to Talk of Better Worlds. This is podcast number 10. I'm Sir Felix the Cat, and with me as always, we have Hawk. How are you doing?
Oh, great. How about you?
Oh, just wonderful. Another great day. I had a nice relaxing day. I didn't have to do any hard labor, didn't have to tear down any walls. It was fantastic.
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, I didn't. Nope. I'm beat.
Oh. All right. Do you have any game news today? If not, I have a couple things I wanted to talk about.
I think Sony dropped, I didn't read too much on it. Sony dropped another live service game and it only has 2,000 players.
Oh yeah. What the heck is it called? I saw one good review on it. Triple Jump talked about it, and the guy doesn't play many hero shooters, but he liked it. He was like, it's not terrible like people are saying it is, but it's probably gonna flop. It's a hero shooter game in a field that's just flooded with nonsense.
Concord. I think it's called Concord.
Yeah, Concord. And even the biggest name in it, Overwatch 2 is just not popular.
No. Yeah, it's just that's because they screwed it all right up. But outside of that, because I just recently saw that, which is it's always funny to me to watch another multi-million-dollar live service game just fall flat on its face. Yep. But no, what do you have?
So I got a couple things. Let me see if I can share my screen without it just dying on me. Share screen. Entire screen. All right. So the first one is some Star Wars news. So Marvel confirms new era of Star Wars comics set after Return of the Jedi.
Oh, okay.
Which this is a series that's going to be launching, I believe, in October. But that is one that I'm excited for. I'm hoping it's going to be good. Their comics are usually pretty decent. I have a few random comics, not any in any order.
I had a lot of the old comics, and they were really good back in the day.
Yeah, October this year. The final battle of the Galactic Civil War begins. So that is going to be quite dope.
Oh, maybe they'll answer well, no, I mean, because they show Vader's helmet in the sequel movies like that. It looks like that.
Yeah.
And it's all messed up. And I assume it got messed up in the destruction of the Death Star. I don't know. Maybe they'll elaborate on that, or how his helmet got even found in the void.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll show that.
This nice pit of fire right there.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, we all know since Disney took over Star Wars, anything is possible. Nothing makes sense, and nobody dies.
Yep. Next, we have something I'm excited about. So they're doing a Nova project, which is going to be a TV show. And Nova, the Nova Corps, they're dope, but Nova himself is just savage. And I am excited for this show.
Okay.
Because everybody's got to love Nova.
Which isn't he that super powerful ancient one?
He's not ancient. He is super powerful, just absurdly powerful. I think he is the strongest of the Nova Corps.
Okay.
But yeah, the best way to see him and learn something about him is to watch Spider-Man. Oh, there's a cartoon where he joined S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, it's there's a new force of S.H.I.E.L.D. and it's him, Spider-Man, Nova, Agent Venom, which is when Venom was a good guy and had a bunch of guns and stuff on him, which is pretty savage.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nova is going to be quite awesome. I was hoping he was going to be in a movie because they show Nova and the Guardians. It would have been cool to show him pop up with the Nova Corps and actually do something. But
a show will probably be better, to be honest.
Yeah. And then for some video game news, something that made me super excited. I was glad to read this, even though the studio makes me mad. Let's get rid of that. Bethesda game studio developers form wall-to-wall union that includes artists, designers, and programmers.
Nice.
Thanks to all the fear that Microsoft has brought upon themselves with the closing of all those studios. One of them got really smart because they followed the lead of, I believe Activision is also unionized.
That's surprising.
Yeah, so they're all their different studios in all the other countries, they're all completely done.
That's really good. I mean, I'm always happy to see more unions, as long as they're like, good and not greedy unions.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they should be scared. They should be terrified because Microsoft is terrible. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's good. That means Bethesda might survive, maybe, for whatever it's worth at this point.
Yeah. Side note, have you seen anything on this game, Once Human?
Yeah, I've seen gameplay. It's like an online kind of post-apocalypse thing.
Yeah, it's like an online version of what I mean. It's got zombies. It's got like crazy robotic
Monsters.
almost enemies.
Yeah.
I kind of want to play it, but my computer doesn't run it, and it comes out for apparently. Jesus Christ, that's loud. It comes out for phones at some point, which I'm probably going to try it on my phone because it's free to play.
Yeah, it's not really my thing. It looks cool, it looks pretty, and it's probably pretty fun, but I think there's a lot of I think it's an only multiplayer kind of game, and in games like that, you always find people who will just ruin it for everybody. So I haven't tried it.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched somebody review it, and it was like, it looks mid. The shooting looks decent.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you're fighting something big, do not jump down a hole to try to run away, because if they jump down there with you, you're going to have a fun time trying to get out, because movement
that's the best time.
Yeah. And then my last video, this one is epic. Boom, he's coming out with a book.
Oh.
It's a fantasy book set in the world of his Berserker series of comics.
Okay.
And it is going to be fantastic. It comes out, when is it? They do a show on the 23rd, so it's like the 26th or something like that. It comes out.
Cool.
But yeah,
I'll be checking that out.
Super fantastic. Yeah, I was thinking about pre-ordering it right away.
Yeah, what is this Berserker thing? I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Let's look that up. He spelled it super weird.
It's like BZR R. I don't know. It's Berserker.
A comic book series created by Keanu and Matt, and drawn by Ron. Follows an immortal warrior, and that's basically what the book's about too, an immortal warrior. So it's probably, yeah, he fights his way through the ages.
Oh, so it like spans a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's worth checking out, I think.
Get a picture of him.
It kind of looks like Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. Just or a thicker Keanu.
Yeah, much thicker Keanu Reeves. Yeah, that's cool. I'm definitely going to check that out, because I want some new comics. I used to have a bunch of comics, and I don't know. I stopped, but it'd be cool to pick it back up again.
Yeah, I picked up a couple today because I was on the topic of Power Rangers the other day. I think thanks to you. And I went out and I went to Complete in Box, picked up a couple. I also got a new little Funko Pop, which is Vash the Stampede from Trigun.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty awesome. Oh my goodness. Don't fall. Don't die.
Did you check out that website, the Ooze website?
Oh, no, I forgot to go to it.
IvansOoze.com.
Yeah. Let's take a look at it.
You could buy the ooze, dude. Yeah, IvansOoze.com. It's amazing.
That's seen on the Eat My Shorts podcast.
Yeah. $25 for a bottle of ooze.
Nice. That is epic.
I need that, dude. I'm definitely getting one, and probably a shirt too.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, that's a childhood dream finally fulfilled.
All right, enough of this nonsense. Yeah, so today's topic, when good goes dark. This one is actually a topic that's thanks to my mom, because we were talking about the premiere of Agatha All Along. And if anybody's watched WandaVision, I don't really want to spoil it, but she's in WandaVision. And most of the time she's seen as a hero. She's worked alongside, let's just pull this up again. Let me share another screen. This takes forever to do. I can't just pop up on what I want. There we go. So Agatha Harkness, she is a witch overall. She's the mother of, I don't even know who this is, Nicholas Scratch. She's somebody. But yeah, she trained Scarlet Witch in the art of magic. And
okay.
So team affiliation she's been part of is she's partnered with the Fantastic Four. She's teamed up with Scarlet Witch, of course. She was part of the Witches of New Salem because she actually was alive during the Salem witch trials.
Oh, she just escaped it?
Yeah, she was able to survive it. I kind of want to see her go up against Doctor Strange. I think that'd be kind of cool because she has a mastery of magic.
That'd be cool, yeah.
It'd be pretty dope to see the two of them go at it. But yeah. So she's seen as a good person, but she's also been a villain at times. And apparently she's in Midnight Suns. I don't know if she's in the game, but she was in at least part of the series.
Oh, okay. She's probably in the game then.
Yeah, I didn't get far enough. I played a whole 20 minutes of it.
I'll play it at some point.
I mean, I was surprised my computer ran it because I have no graphics card.
Well, I think your GPU runs graphics.
Yeah.
Sorry, your CPU runs graphics. Sorry.
Yeah, but she's a good guy who's done evil things. So that kind of inspired it to where my mom was like, "Oh, that's kind of interesting." I was like, "Well, yeah, I mean, it's not unique because there's the Punisher, which he's another one of those that he was in the military, and then he kind of lost it when the mob killed his family, and I mean, it's understandable. So he goes out and he gets revenge, and he doesn't do it like a lot of superheroes do, like Deadpool. Deadpool kills a lot of people. That's a wrong example. But like Superman and Batman and them, Batman no longer kills people, but they usually stop. They bring him to justice.
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of cool to talk about that. Let me get rid of my screen. So, do you have anybody that stands out for you for a character that either just joined the dark side, like was either good or just didn't take a side that went evil, or that takes justice into their own hands, kind of like Punisher?
Well, I mean, my go-to is always the Punisher. Just every iteration of the Punisher, because I mean, I just like. I'm not violent, but sometimes I really understand the need for vengeance when you've been really wronged, Yeah. I mean, really wronged. Not like, I don't know, someone bumped into you in a line or something, but like, when they kill your whole family, like that kind of stuff. But so the Punisher is always really good. Another one that comes right to my mind is Anakin, actually, from Star Wars. Because he's a good one that turned bad. As for other Marvel characters, I think Batman, or DC, Marvel and DC, I think Batman is the other one that I would really go to, because in some iterations he's either always been bad or he turns bad, like grumpy old Batman. When he kind of isn't there a couple iterations where he just kind of loses it after a while.
There's his dad in the one part of the Flashpoint paradox. Mm-hmm. So he flash travels through time, or messes up time essentially, and in that story, in the alleyway, Bruce is the one who gets shot, and then his dad becomes Batman, but he's Batman with guns, and then his mom becomes Joker. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, so Batman would be one of my other go-tos, I think. But outside of that, I mean, if we're specifically sticking with Marvel and DC, I'm not the most familiar. Yeah. But yeah, those are my top ones, I'd say.
What about video games? Do you have anybody in video games?
Let me think.
I'm going to take out Lord of the Rings characters because all they all do is kill. I mean, unless you want to count Smeagol.
Yeah. I mean, I would exclude them. I guess, I've been kind of on a kick with like Oblivion lately. There's Mankar Cameron, the main bad guy of Oblivion. He started out, or for the campaign, or not campaign, but the main story, the main bad guy for the main story in Oblivion. He started out as he's like a wood elf that I believe has like he's half wood elf, half high elf, so he looks like kind of a high elf. And his original idea was to try and like he had the whole like, you know, let's restore peace and stuff like that mentality with magic and everything, but he went down a really bad rabbit hole signing up with Mehrunes Dagon, the god of destruction. And he created a cult called the Mythic Dawn, led him down a terrible path. He wound up killing the Emperor and a bunch of other people. So it's like a good idea that leads to a bad place, at least. That's one for Oblivion. Who else is there? Caesar, speaking of Bethesda games, Caesar from Fallout New Vegas. He started out as a follower of the apocalypse, a very well, he was a very well-trained doctor who was very informed, liked to read a lot of books, wanted to help people. And he read a couple of the wrong books and had a couple wrong interpretations of those books. Wound up thinking that the best way to save the world was to crush it with overwhelming brute force and enslaving anyone who didn't agree with him. So that's another good example from video games, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. What about the leader of the Brotherhood? What's his name?
Maxon, Elder Maxon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's... So, like, I like what they've done with the Brotherhood through the whole series because they started off as dicks. They were tech freaks who would blow you away just to get your technology. And then in 2, they were effectively the same thing. In 3, they went with the splinter group of Elder Lions. And Elder Lions kind of tried to train young Maxon on, like, hey, don't be an ass to people. And like we could help people instead of just focus on stealing technology and preserving it effectively. And it seemed like that stuck to a degree, but kind of like Caesar, his idea of it was warped, where by the time he's an adult in 4, he thinks helping people is genociding an entire group of people.
Nice. It's a good way to be.
Yeah, no, he's a great guy, you know?
Yeah, so I kind of stuck to video games for my 2 picks that I had because they're both very unique characters. I'm gonna share my screen because I have the info up for them. Boom. So the first one from Tales of Vesperia, we have Yuri Lowell, who is, I mean, he doesn't know how to tie his boots, so he just got rid of the strings. But he used to be a Imperial Knight, and he was a very promising knight. He pulled a lot of power, and he's just great in a sword fight. But he ends up turning into a vigilante and more of the straight up kill someone vigilante. Okay. There's one part where in the game, I can't remember what happened, but you're dealing with the mayor of the city, and you reported him, but since he's wealthy, he was just getting off scot-free. And Yuri sees that, and he's like, nah, we're not going to have that. So late that night, he goes out and kills him.
Oh,
yeah, which is, I mean, I kind of had it coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, Yuri, he's overall a good guy, and he cares deeply about everybody, cares about the world. He's sympathetic, unless you're just trash. Then he's just going to get, which I really like him. I didn't know he made so many appearances outside of like the Radiant Mythology games, which are only in Japan, unless you download a ROM.
Of course.
Is from, what is going on here? Dragon Quest Builders 2. So I had put up a video last week or something like that where I showed gameplay from this. And so you meet this guy early on, and he's, I mean, you look at him, he looks evil. And he pretty much is the reincarnation of this evil god in the game. But when you meet him, he has no memory of that. He doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know why he's on this island with you. But you guys become friends, and he ends up helping you along the way. He struggles with the fact that you're a builder and he can't build at all. But still, he's great at destruction, so you know he helps you. Yeah, and yeah, he's a good guy for the most part. But then at one point, he turns evil until you know the power of friendship comes through, and he rights his wrongs. But yeah, Marloth would be a pretty good one. It's the god of destruction, I think. I think that's what his name is. But he is quite dope. I like him.
Yeah, I actually I thought of a few more from video games, actually, like probably better ones than my original ones. And we could really dive into one of them because I think he's very gray. Johnny Silverhand from Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
He, I think for all intents and purposes, to the general working person, had really good goals and ideas. But he became a terrorist trying to enforce them.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I mean, how do you feel about what he did? You feel like he did the right thing?
Yes. Yes, I do. I think if he so he tries to nuke Arasaka Tower. And if he had succeeded with the new, or no, did he succeed? I forget. Did he actually blow up Arasaka Tower?
Oh, I'm trying to remember the mission. I know you go in there, you're doing a bunch of stuff, and then you
get got, basically.
Yeah, I think you were trapped. He was trapped in there when it blew up, wasn't he? Isn't that why? Or no?
No, they did. They stopped. Yeah, they captured him. They thought he died in the. So yeah, if I remember right, yeah, he did actually blow up the tower, but they thought he died in the explosion, but they captured him. Spoiler alert, I guess, for Cyberpunk if you haven't beaten it yet. But yeah, they captured him, and things go from there. I won't spoil anything else. But do I think what he did was right? I think, given the circumstances in the world that they live in, absolutely. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He is like the ultimate good guy in that world. Next to V, if you choose to play that way.
Really, he's the last good guy in that world.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know he lost an arm in the Second Central American War.
Yeah, he was a vet. He fought in the wars, and they kind of explore that a little. That's why he has his dog tags too. But they explore that a little bit. He's a cool character, man.
Well, yeah, he's Keanu.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the Keanu cast.
Yeah, the Keanu cast. We got to do that sometime. Just all things Keanu. No, another one I have is Joel from The Last of Us.
Let's pull him up.
So, spoiler again. Big spoiler alert for the end of the first game and the end of the first season of the show. Joel has to make a decision at the end of the game, and I haven't finished the season, unfortunately, but I assume at the end of the season of the show, to either what?
They don't do that. They stop.
They don't do that?
No, they get to the building and they stop. That's where the season ends.
Okay, well,
building. Yeah.
Spoiler for the game then, and maybe the show later. I don't know, but season 2. But Joel has to decide whether or not to leave Ellie there so the doctors can work on her to find a cure, or basically extract a cure for the virus that's going around, or the fungal infection that's going around. Or he can kill everyone in the building and take Ellie back and escape with her. And he chooses the latter because he sees her as his daughter, who he lost. He lost his daughter early on. He sees Ellie as his new daughter. And it's an understandable decision, but it's probably pretty bad.
Yeah. Yep. You haven't played the second game. When they find out there's somebody else who is able to cure it or something like that?
I don't know. The second game is, I played a little bit of it, but as far as I understand it, the second game is mostly about like the cycle of revenge and how like the choices you make will usually come back to you, even if it's years and years down the road.
Yeah, all I know about the game is you can play guitar and there's a PS Vita in it. That's about it.
Yeah, and the guitar thing is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I think Mark Hoppus was playing it on a live stream once.
Yep, yeah, he was. And then the final one that I found, when like just dug through a little list of games and thought about it, was Jin Sakai from Ghost of Tsushima, actually.
Oh, I'm glad his name came up because I did not know how to spell that.
Yeah, Sakai, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jin Sakai starts off as a samurai who, I guess, historical spoiler alert, were not really honorable. They were not really good people. But they have the romanticized idea of samurai in this game, where like they have the code of Bushido, which didn't exist, and they're very like, we're trying to be good guys and do the right thing, but we have to do it in a specific, honorable way. And he starts off that way, and eventually becomes the Ghost, who is a backstabbing, like, ninja, effectively. And he's brutal. I mean, like, brutal by the end of the game. And you do some wicked stuff to these people who have invaded your home. And again, it's is he a good guy? Even though he's doing terrible things to people, he's doing it for an understandable reason and to defend his home. So I think that's another pretty gray one.
Yeah. And that brings us to the question I was going to ask. So we've talked about a few different people. We agree on Johnny Silverhand.
Yep.
I believe we agree on Punisher and and Yuri.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm going to take Marloth out of this because his is just bizarre. He finds out that he's the god of destruction. That's completely different. But
that's normal.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's the god of destruction, right?
Yeah.
But why do these people do it? Like the rest of them, like you. So, Jin, you just said like all the stuff that happened. That's kind of like Yuri. Yuri does it because all the things that are happening, and he's seeing that justice is just not being served up properly.
Yeah.
But for like, go back to your first one, Anakin.
Mm-hmm.
Why does he turn evil? Like, what is it about it?
For Anakin, it's a lot of things, but I guess to boil it down to the like a couple things easily, it's love. And that love gets manipulated by Palpatine. He manipulates Anakin, knowing that his love is so strong that he would do anything to save his wife, and he like plants visions in his head, or whatever, manipulates him into thinking that his wife will die, when in reality it became a self-fulfilling prophecy because of his own anger. So he was manipulated effectively at the end of the day.
So do you agree with his like decision to go to the dark side, especially when he walks in that room with a bunch of kids and walks out alone?
So no, because I mean, killing kids is probably bad. I think. I don't know. The whole thing with Anakin, like the reason it worked for him, the reason the manipulation worked for him, is because he was stupid. He was very headstrong. He was very stubborn, and he refused to admit that people could use him, and he refused to admit that maybe he was wrong. So I don't think that if I was in the same circumstance, I would treat things the way he did. So I don't agree with it. I think it was, yeah, he was manipulated, but ultimately I guess it was his own doing for not seeing what was happening, being too stubborn.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, yeah, I mean, his anger got the most of him. That's what my main takeaway from it.
Yeah.
He was just an angry, angsty teen, and he just went too far.
Yeah, and he blamed that point. Oh, I think he was like 18 or 19 or 20 by episode 3, I think. But he blamed everyone around him for all the stuff that happened to him too, which in a way is understandable. Like, he was a slave. I mean, he grew up as a slave. And then he was taken away from his mother by people who treated him like ass, to be honest. I mean, the people did not give him what he needed, the Jedi. Yeah. He needed Qui-Gon. He needed a father.
Yeah, instead he got a brother who he wanted to fight to the death.
Yeah. Yep. And his hubris. It was a beautiful fight, actually. But yeah.
And then let's go to the other one that's questionable, Joel. What do you think about him as a whole character for the whole first game?
Man, this one's harder. I guess to preface, like, very few things, whether it's games or movies or books or anything, hit me as hard as the opening of The Last of Us did. Yeah. And that's because of a lot of like personal stuff too, but it's just like I felt that at the beginning of Last of Us when he loses his daughter. So by the time of the end of it, when he sees Ellie as his daughter and he makes that choice, that I do understand, and I don't know if I would make a different choice, to be honest. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Like, yeah, because I can understand he lost his daughter, and he grew attached to this young girl who he's been journeying across the world with, or across the country. But I don't know. I don't like Joel as a person. Like, I know he's bitter because of what happened to him, but I don't like him as a person.
He is a bad dude.
Yeah.
He even says it. Like, he's killed people. Like, he's not a good guy.
But I like Arthur from Red Dead 2.
Yeah.
And he's a bad guy who's killed a lot of people too, but at least he's likable.
Yeah. Yeah. Joel is selfish. I think that's the difference. Arthur is not selfish.
Yeah.
He's pretty selfless in a lot of the stuff. He deals with everybody's crap all the time. But I think Joel is ultimately selfish, and that selfishness is what caused him to make that decision, I think.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I mean, that's basically what it comes down to. He wanted to not lose another daughter, which, even though it's not really his daughter,
yeah,
he kind of just grew too attached. I don't know. I still don't like him.
Yeah, it's very gray. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I would make that decision. I don't know if I had a daughter and I lost her, and then I found a girl like Ellie and traveled around with her and everything. I don't know if I would let myself get that close to her just for that reason. Because I had already lost one. I don't want to lose another. So I'm not going to let her in like that. That's probably how I would deal with it.
Let's talk about another PlayStation character I just thought of, because I see a little picture of someone who's not him. But Kratos.
Oh, yeah.
Because he took it to a whole nother extreme. His wife died, and so he was like, oh, well, we praise the gods, so they're going to die.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you agree with him?
Kinda.
Yeah.
I don't know about all of them, because not all of them oversee that field, and not all of them were really responsible or had much to do with it at all. I mean, I don't know anything about the newer games. I don't know why he's fighting the other gods now. That's just weird.
Yeah. I played a little bit of them, but not much.
Yeah, I know he has a kid. That's about it. And he throws an axe.
Yeah. Pretty cool axe.
But do you agree with what he did? Like in the original series?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, if we knew gods were real and they stood by while my wife died, or or one of them took part in the death of my wife, yeah, I'm pretty sure I would want to kill every single one of them. Yeah.
I think it makes more sense in the second and third games. I could be wrong, but I thought in the first game, like, one of the places you would like heal or save or something like that had a bunch of prostitutes.
Okay.
I remember seeing Kratos and a bunch of prostitutes, and I was just like, this is weird. This makes no sense for the story.
There were a lot of prostitutes.
Yes, it's with the times, but still, that's you're grieving over your dead wife, and your way of thinking of that is like, oh, well, prostitutes.
Well, we could look at this two ways. One is it was the early 2000s, so that's just how things were. Two, in ancient times, like I've actually talked about this recently with other people. In ancient times, people were a lot more open with sexual stuff. So you could see it as kind of like that thing. Like, yeah, if you were grieving, you still might go and sleep with a prostitute or whatever. It might even help you in the moment, But it's still kind of dumb. I don't think it should have been in the game.
Yeah. But it doesn't make much sense. But yeah, I mean, if you could do what he did in his situation, would do it? You would go fight the gods?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, if they either directly killed my wife or if they stood by while other people or things killed my wife and I knew they could have stopped it, yeah, I'd kill them all. Yeah.
All right, what do we got here? Looking at the comments. We'll put it up here. See it that way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The character's great, though, when they have moral... Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, Tyrion. I was thinking of Tyrion.
Yep.
Tyrion is a good example of that. He is He's a very interesting character.
I love Tyrion.
I mean, I wish he would have been the king. That would
He should have been the king. Him or Jon.
And here we go. Darth Vader. Yes, I agree. He will be the best character. Best evil character. It's him and Joker. They're probably the two most iconic out of everyone.
Yeah. I think we talked about that before.
What's his name? The guy who The Rock played. Try to make him like the ultimate, and it's like that's not going to work.
Black Adam.
Yeah, Black Adam. People like Black Adam, but not on that same level.
Well, it's because it's The Rock, man. Hot take: The Rock sucks.
I mean, that's why that new Christmas movie he's doing with Chris Evans. I like Chris Evans, but I don't know if I can watch the movie.
Well, The Rock is just going to bring it down, so it's not going to be worth it.
Yeah. I can't remember. I think it is this Christmas movie that's coming out. Apparently, it should have came out last year, but it was delayed for a whole year because The Rock just couldn't be bothered to show up on time.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah.
You know, like I wonder, is he like a what is it? Like a prima donna kind of like, uppity?
I don't know. He had beef with Vin Diesel on the Fast movies.
Well, Vin Diesel is dumb, dude.
Yeah, and he's a bit of a diva too. So you had two headstrong divas together.
Yeah. Dude, do you know just how stupid Vin Diesel is? This is kind of a brief aside, but like it is fascinating. I mean, like just look into that sometime. It is shocking how just actually dumb Vin Diesel is as a human being.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of actors are. But
yeah, no.
He doesn't seem like the smartest. I mean, he did some cool things. He took what was that character where he was Pitch Black?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Chronicles of Riddick, and
made sure that Riddick. He made sure that could like be a thing, and I was happy about that because my favorite thing about the movie Chronicles of Riddick was when he sets that tin cup down.
Yeah.
He's gonna kill him with that and kills the guy with that, and then next thing he sets down is like a grenade pin or something like that. Sets that out. The dude just runs.
Yeah. No, and
yeah,
he said
absolutely.
Those were his favorite movies to make. So I respect that. I love the Riddick movies. They're really cool. But he is just so dumb, dude.
Yep. Yeah, no, I'll have to look into that sometime to see exactly how low his intelligence is.
It's fascinating.
I mean, I guess what is the story with Riddick? Isn't he another one of the characters we could be talking about?
It's been like 15 years, I think, since I've watched them. Isn't he just like he's the last of his race, I believe, if I remember right? And
yeah, he was a prisoner for some reason.
Yeah, so the like the necro whatever, like I know they're not necromorphs, they're necro something. They're like the too many damn sci-fi things. They're necro somethings. They're like undead space lords who control a bunch of planets and everything, and they're kind of like vampires, I guess, in a way. And I think they destroyed his entire race, and he was the last one left, and they captured him, and he like broke out and he became an assassin or something. I think he's just he's not ever really presented as a good guy. I think. Yeah,
I think doesn't he save somebody in Pitch Black? He's basically protecting was a little girl or something like that.
Yeah, he has a good heart and a good like moral compass, but he just like all he really knows how to do is kill.
Nothing wrong with that.
Oh yeah, whatever.
Look at Drax the Destroyer, because we got to talk about the MCU. We can't get away without that.
Every time.
Drax is another character. He's good, but yeah, he will kill you. He will straight rip you apart.
Yeah. Oh man, he's cool. Isn't it Batista that plays him?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't they indicate in the movies that he truly believes that if you stand still, nobody can see him?
Oh, it's a true power. Yeah, he learned how to focus his muscles so much that he can like just freeze everything on him, and when he goes completely motionless and like slows his breathing and everything, people can't see him. But they, instead of making that his actual ability in the movie, they decide just to make it a joke.
I think it works as a joke.
Yeah, especially with it being Batista.
Yeah.
It just fits.
He's what The Rock wishes he was.
Yeah. Pretty much. Batista did that Shyamalan, I think it was Shyamalan.
Yes, it was Shyamalan. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know,
that
I
movie,
forget the name.
whatever it was called, about it had to deal with the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse and whatnot.
Yep.
But he was fantastic in that. I don't think that movie
yeah.
got many views because people have a grudge against Shyamalan.
Well, you know. But no, that movie was really good, and he was very good in that movie too.
Yeah, what was that? I gotta look it up now. Oh, if I can spell and not hit caps lock. I don't know how to spell Shyamalan.
Shyamalan.
Knock at the Cabin. There we go.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, the way I spelled his name was just completely wrong.
Shlongalan.
I didn't know he had a Y in his name. Shyamalan.
Oh, that blows my mind. I had no idea there was a Y.
Yeah. Which I was watching what's his first big movie? I See Dead People.
Sixth Sense.
Yeah, Sixth Sense. Yep. And I forgot that he put himself in the movie. He's there in the jewelry store.
He's in every movie he makes.
Yeah. It was quite epic.
I think he's an all right director. I like him.
Yeah, his stories get you thinking.
Yeah. Some are kind of dumb, like Signs. If you think too hard about Signs, it's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But
a lot of them. It's the same thing as Sixth Sense. If you think about it too much, it's just like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, but everybody loves that movie.
Yeah. I mean, well, Bruce Willis, too. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Like, anything Bruce Willis is in before, let's say, like, I don't know, 2010 is perfect.
That's why it's sad that guy and his hearing issue, whatever auditory issue he has, that he's basically not going to be doing acting anymore.
Who, Bruce Willis?
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought he had some kind of thing where like his brain is done at this point. It's not just hearing, like he's fried.
Yeah, it's some sort of auditory thing. Oh no. Never mind.
Yeah, his mind is gone, man.
Yeah, frontal temporal dementia.
Yeah, he's cooked. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, it was pretty big news because it's like he's starting to like not recognize his own family members and stuff, and like he's actually done.
Yeah, he did a movie where he was a famous burglar way back in the day. That was the first thing I saw him in before I saw The Best Christmas Movie.
Die Hard.
Yeah, Die Hard. There we go. I was going to say Lethal Weapon. I was like, that's not Lethal Weapon.
No, that's my I almost said Michael Jackson. No, what's his name?
Yeah, Michael Jackson. Mel Gibson.
Yeah, Michael Jackson. No, racist guy called his wife. Said his wife should be. Said bad things to his wife. What's his name?
Gibson.
Gibson. Yeah, Passion of the Christ. Gibson. Yeah. Mad Max.
Which him, I don't know how I feel about Gibson.
He's talented. Nobody can deny that.
He is. He's in some really good, like, I don't know about great movies, but very interesting movies.
Yeah.
He was what is it? Get the Gringo, I think.
Yep, which is pretty good.
Yeah. I went into expecting nothing, and that was fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, he makes really good movies. He acts very well. He's in a bunch of very good movies. He is a talented dude, but he's just nuts and just a pretty crappy person.
Yeah. And women used to love him.
Yeah, I mean, well, look at the dude.
Yeah, back when he was younger.
Yeah. Like Mad Max days and stuff.
But so since we're talking about movies, we should talk about a movie.
Oh.
Because I like this movie. So today we watched, or whenever we watched it, Some Guy Who Kills People from 2012. A horror comedy that's if you have Amazon Prime, it's free to watch on there right now with your subscription. Yep. But I was kind of blown away just because of the main actor. It was Kevin Corrigan, which I'm going to pull him up because I don't know if anybody's really familiar with him. He looks better there, looks more like himself. Yeah, so he's been in like some mobster movies and all that stuff, and he's never really the main character. So it's kind of cool to see him actually be the leading role in a movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen him in a lot of stuff, but I just like like you said, I've never seen him be the main character before.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's a movie about a guy. Let's go back to this. This explains it pretty well. So a formal mental patient's regressed anger reaches a boiling point, leading him to embark on a mission of revenge against thugs who once subjected him to severe physical and mental trauma. Basically, without giving away too much, he was attacked by, or basically held hostage and tortured by some fellow classmates when he was in high school. And it just totally destroyed him. And then there was more that helped lead him to wanting to kill himself. But yeah, he ends up getting locked up for several years in a mental institution.
Yeah. Yeah. And they scarred him up, and they did legitimately like torture him.
Yeah.
I don't know. What did you think about the movie?
I like it. I like the movie. It started off like the acting's not the greatest throughout. Some of it was like forcefully bad acting. I think it was by the sheriff. I love the sheriff. He was fantastic the whole time.
He was. Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I pretty much liked it. I don't think it's a 6.3. I'd say the 78% is probably more accurate for this. It was not the greatest movie, but it was better than a lot.
Yeah,
at least for the story.
I would say it's hard. This one is a bit more gray for me than I think any of the other movies we've watched, because like they touch on a lot of stuff that's pretty real, and pretty like messed up and sensitive and kind of relatable in some cases. And like how people will treat you if you have the problems that this guy has. Like he clearly has like severe depression, PTSD, anxiety. Like he's very messed up from the stuff that he's had happen to him. People have always treated him like crap. He's not like the quote school shooter type, but he's just a dude who's been dealt a really bad hand, and people misunderstand him because of how he is from that. That's pretty relatable, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, because that's relatable, it was kind of difficult to watch it sometimes, especially with scenes like with his mother and stuff, and like just
his mother was trash.
Yeah,
he was very messed up to him.
It's just, but the sheriff was great. I loved every scene he was in. That guy is amazing.
Yeah.
And then the overall story is pretty good, and the twist is, I didn't expect the twist, to be honest. That kind of hit me like a sucker punch.
I did, because I realized a couple things just didn't add up properly, like from near the beginning.
Yeah.
And I kind of figured where they were going with it, but still it was enjoyable, even though I kind of saw that coming.
Yeah. Yeah, even if you do see it coming, I think it's still pretty good. Like I did not, because I mean I watched it, but I watched it over 2 days. And like I couldn't pay the closest attention to it, but if I had like not as much going on, I may have caught it earlier. But even if I did catch it earlier, I think it would have still been pretty good. It was decent. I think it was one of the better movies that we've watched with this project.
Yeah, the girl who played his daughter, Amy Wheeler, or Ariel Gade, she I was kind of surprised, because it's very rare for a movie to take someone and cast somebody who's around the right age.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was kind of weird that they're placing him as being like 34 in the movie, and he looks older than 34.
Yeah, he does.
But yeah, she was like 14, 15, something like that when they made this movie.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, she looked right. Like she looked like the right age.
Yeah.
And she's a good actress too. She was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I liked her role probably the most, because she was kind of a lot like him, just more talkative.
Yeah, and not as broken.
Yeah. Of course, if things gone a different way, she could have ended up just like him, which would have been interesting.
I mean, she was on the path.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of thought-provoking movie in ways that I don't think I expected.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty good. It was pretty good. I did like it.
So would you say 78's fair or 6.3? Who are you going to agree with, Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb?
I mean, I kind of hate both of them. I would say if we had to do like a number out of 10, I would say like 6.5 to like 6.8. If we were doing a percentage, I would say like 65 to 68% to me, which is still good. It's passing. It's better than average.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yes. I say the 78 is fair. I really liked it. Mainly the sheriff did it for me.
Yeah, he was good.
And then his deputy, I'll see his name up here on the screen. I think it was this guy. Maybe.
Yeah, it was him.
Yeah, they were a great duo. And then the police, there was the sheriff and the deputy are like searching this crime scene, and the sheriff mentions like, yeah, these other two guys can barely even read, and they're showing like they're having trouble reading like the police tape and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then if you just continue to watch them in the background, they are fantastic, trying to figure out how to tie it up, and they just can't do it.
Yeah. They're too stupid. Yeah, there was a lot of comedy in the movie. Yeah, and the way a lot of stuff was delivered was pretty like intentionally bad to be funny, I think.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Yep. So let's do our other thing we have to talk about, as always. Let's get in some SCP action. So today we have SCP-557. And let's see about this one. It's a brick building. Interesting. Okay. So containment procedures. As it's not possible to relocate SCP-557, Research Site 29 has been built surrounding it. Geographic and aerial surveys of the area have been altered to make it appear to be an empty desert with no valuable archaeological or mineral features.
Okay.
Interesting. So let's see. Let's start with this description. So the SCP is an NAR. What? An and NAR era tomb, estimated to be built around 2400 BCE on the gravel plain of an empty quarter of the northwestern Oman. Or Oman? I don't know what the heck that is. Anyways,
Oman.
Investigation of the surrounding area indicates that this may be part of the lost city of Ubar. SCP-557 was discovered in 1988 during an inquiry into the disappearance of a geological survey team in the area.
Huh.
So let's see. Unlike similar structures, SCP-557 includes 5 underground levels, constructed primarily of sandstone, apparently used as an ancient prison and containment site.
Interesting.
Yeah, we're going to jump up a little bit because I read something up here that was kind of interesting. So on-site personnel have several tasks to prevent unauthorized observation of and access to SCP-557. Despite its inhospitable location, several occult groups, including the Redacted, appear to be aware of SCP-557 and have shown interest in it. Unauthorized personnel are to be taken into custody, interrogated, and dealt with appropriately. Anyone attempting to tunnel below level 5 or disturb the stone block of the floor of room 501 is to be terminated immediately.
Also, I just looked this up because I'm curious. So it said and R, I believe, but I think it means al-nar, which is a Bronze Age culture that existed around 2600 to 2000 BC. It's in the modern day area of the UAE, United Arab Emirates, and northern Oman. So it was a real culture that they're referencing. So this is just kind of a spin on that, which is pretty cool.
So that means the lost city of Ubar is a real thing?
Probably, yeah. Let me see. City of Ubar. Ubar. Atlantis of the Sands. Yep, the lost city of Ubar. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's cool.
All right, so let's go back to this description. So although living quarters and weapons of approximately Redacted staff guards exist on level 1, the facility appears to have been slowly abandoned over the years and empty since 300 CE. Only 2 skeletons were found on level 1. A substantial library of records was found on level 1 in a number of ancient languages. Only the records in Egyptian and a final note left in Greek have been translated. Levels 2 and 3 are stated to be the record, or stated in the records to be prisons for heretics and sorcerers, but appear to not have been used for up to 1,000 years before the site was abandoned. Level 4 is described as a place for the abnormal. Skeletons resembling SCP Redacted and also SCP Redacted have been discovered locked away in stone cells, confirming the intent of the structure. And then the mysterious level 5. This consists of a 5.2 millimeter, mile, meter, I don't know.
Meter, probably?
Yeah, a meter-long hallway filled with complex traps and deadfalls, leading to a single large 21.3 meter by 19.7 meter, a room, designated as 501. Although all of the traps appear to have been sprung or cleared, researchers should exercise caution. The door to room 501, oh my goodness,
anachronistically, that's it, like anachronism.
Okay. Composed of redacted, I like how they did this, actually said redacted instead of blocking it out, was found torn down from the inside. Based on the distribution of dust in this area, this event happened approximately 20 years ago. In the center of the floor of the room is a partially buried granite block. Estimated weight is 80,000 kg.
Jeez.
The block was covered with untranslated runes. A similar thinner block stands in the room and shows evidence that a living being, designated SCP-557-1, was chained to it, using chains from the same material as the door. No evidence of the continued presence of SCP-557-1 has been found. Translated records only refer to that SBC as the prisoner, with the exception of one reference in Egyptian to the bastard son of Apep.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's some sort of old prison that kept crazy creatures and sorcerers.
From like way back.
Yeah. Way back in the way back.
Way back in the way back. That's cool. I always love when stuff touches on like ancient stuff, because there's so little that we know about that time. So it's a perfect void to create your own crazy stories.
Yeah, which is why we need to send this one to Disney, and we're going to have another Indiana Jones movie. But we're going to wait 20 years and make sure that he's even older to do this role.
We'll roll out his skeleton. Oh, man.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. Kind of weird.
That was really, really cool. I think that was the best one so far.
I mean, I like the knife that can cut anything and like perfectly cut anything.
That one is pretty cool.
Watch the thing come to life. That would be insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really all we had for this week. We have some videos coming out. We have one on Monday by Hawk, and he's going to do it on whatever he thinks of.
Yeah, actually, that one's going to be a list of mods that bring Rome Total War 2 into 2024. There's actually a bunch of new mods that have come out for... it's only a couple, actually. I think it's like 4 or 5 total. That you need to take Rome Total War 2 and make it the game it deserved to be. And they're awesome. So I'm going to do a list video on those.
Nice. And then I have this coming Nerd Talk Thursday, which is going to be more of a rant than anything. I got some very upsetting news about the school district here, and it really just set me off. It is going to be about reading and books, so, you don't have to do any reading in the video, but yeah, I'm going to be talking about it. I think it's a very, very important thing to do.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, because then you'll learn words like... whatever that word was that I could not say.
Anachronistic?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it is a tough word.
That's the first time I've ever seen it written down.
Yeah, I've heard it, And that's the only reason I know how to pronounce it is because I've heard it enough. But if I did read it for the first time, because that was the first time I've ever seen it written either, I would have been like, what? Would have taken a second, like, oh, anachronistic. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, look forward to those videos. Like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and we will see you guys next week. And until then, take care.
Yep. Stay safe.